DJ, good morning. Good morning, guys. Rick, good morning. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing? Well, I had intended on working some obsidian this morning, but man, this little weather snap has just got me. I'm feel tight, kind of. My arthritis is really bugging me this morning, so I'd rather not work the devil glass when my hands are feeling like this, because that's when you get. Hey, Paul, good morning. So I think I'm going to work something a little less sharp and a little less. Well, I mean, I was trying to work that down and get something from every piece of it, but this has got all kinds of, like, some concrete in it. But I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to. This is kind of a rounded river cobble with a little bit of trash and some stuff in there. It's not flaking too bad, the couple of flakes that I've taken across it. Or we can do this kind of a tabby piece. It's got some thinner spots over here where there's a bunch of divots and maybe a seam that cuts through there, so my point's probably going to be over here. But anyway, I was going to let you guys, what do you want to see me work this morning? Or if you have a preference at all. This one's got some little lines in it. Which one do you like, Justin? You like the tabby one or the turtle shell? The one in my right hand, this one here, the turtle shell, or this one here. And this is the fun part of this kind of stuff with the lag. Okay. Well, this is in my left hand. Now, you guys are looking at it, but this is my left hand. I know it is. All right, well, we'll see what we can get out of this. It's got, you can see this kind of a seam that goes right along here and up, kind of up this way. So I'm expecting my better material, and it is a little thicker over here on this side. Delinder, thank you for the follow. So I'm gonna use this side as the setup to try to take some of that mass, kind of figuring that I'm gonna lose most of my material from over here. So, see if I can. Yeah, see, that's got, from those impact fractures, you can see that crack that goes down into there. That's from where these turn and tumble into creeks and stuff, and they get hit. And ooh, this got some banding in it, looks like. Hopefully that'll stay in there. See some of that. Wouldn't that be terrible if I could make a banded Clovis out of it? Come on. Just wanting that corner to come off. Now guys, you may notice that a lot of times I'll work freehand like this. The difference for me, like when I'm hurting today like that right there, I could tell when I followed through that it hurt. What I do is I'll work on my leg similar to like when I was using back when I used copper tools and stuff, and just try to hit a spot that's underneath the platform, and you'll get a nice follow through. And I mean, I think I'm more accurate freehand, but my technique is better when it's on here because I have a tendency to kind of jump or anticipate the shot. So once I get into a rhythm on my leg, I am, usually a little bit better. I don't know, I like freehand napping better, so. But when my arthritis and everything's acting up where I can't really swing like I want to. Oh, awesome, Skitty, thank you. Well, I will be going to the post office later today. I've got a couple of orders to get out, and so I will look for it. And I've got some other material coming in from a couple of followers are sending me some stuff. So just all kinds of stuff to work, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make some really cool stuff. I just got a bunch of archaeological books. I'll show those tomorrow. I'll do a show and tell tomorrow. But I got 4 new books. 2 of them from Texas A&M Archaeological Department, and they're basically research papers on dig sites. So I'm really excited to be able to dig into those, and I'll share those with you guys. But yeah, if I've got material coming in and new points to look up and all that fun stuff, man, that makes me happy. Keeps me busy and out of trouble, See, all I'm trying to do here is, you can see that was, pretty much just tabby like that all the way around. What I usually try to do with these, instead of trying to drive those big flakes off real early, is just get a working edge. And it doesn't have to be pretty. You just need, like that right there is a platform for that mass. If you go into it trying to take huge flakes off of it to begin with, yeah, you could take a few flakes off that are going to be big flakes, but then you're going to alter the contours of that rock to the point where, you're probably not going to. It is Texas rock, Don. This is some type of a Edwards Plateau. I don't even know, amoeba or what, but it is Texas rock. I think the formation, or what they call it, is Edwards. It's Edwards Plateau Chert. All of it is up there, so in that area. So you're pretty safe to say that. So it is pretty tough stone, but I like it. It's consistent. I mean, I've worked some difficult materials that, if you hit it one time and it may react a certain way, and then another time, and everything's got to be just so. I just lost my monitor, I think. Let's see if it'll. Yeah, there it is. Sorry about that, guys. No kidding, Don. Yeah, I've never used a, well, I don't know what kind of metal you were using, but be careful if you're using like hard steel, man. You can throw some serious shattery sparks and shards of stuff. See, where I said that there would look like a crack, there is a crack right there. You see how that came out at a weird angle up along that same seam? So that, and it looks like it goes down in there a ways. I'm gonna work this edge and hopefully this side will be good. Oh yeah, that's just an ancient, looks like where it's hit something, but it goes all the way across right there. But it doesn't look like it goes all the way through, so. 307 Gen, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I guess Etsy maybe. There's a lot of flint napper forums on Facebook. If that's what you're trying to sell it for, as far as napping material. Are you a flint napper? Or you have any knowledge of it, or? See, I'm just using each of those little, gonna try to get through this without busting that crack open, but just using each flake as the next platform. See, now that leaves this one here to go back that way. And you'll notice when I'm doing this, I'm kind of tilting this rock up. I'm not hitting it flat. I'm either throwing it in at an angle or I tilt it up. It's a weird angle there. Let me get this out of the way so I don't hit my knuckles on it. There it went. That was the one I was trying to get. I was trying to go a little bit flatter because this is my better face over here, so I was trying not to gouge that too much. Gotta take another one. There. And I gouged it too much. That's what I'm saying though, man. I'm just off today, guys. I can feel it in my hands. All right, let's switch to a softer hammerstone here somewhere. Too soft. Looking for something a little bit more. That's too heavy. What I did with my other, I had one that was kind of, oh, there it is. It's busting up, but she's still, I'm going to pick her up today, Don. She's supposed to come in to this evening, so yeah, I've been all out of sorts. I don't See, with that softer hammerstone, I can use it almost like you would an antler. I'm just dragging that edge till it toughens it up. It's just the same. It's the same basic thing as like when you see me with a pressure flaker on an edge, and I'm kind of crunch back and forth. All I'm doing is strengthening that edge up just a little until it's strong enough to be able to take the force of the flake that I want it to go. That's about the same hammerstone. I like on this earlier stage, especially tougher rock, I don't like a real hard hammerstone. I never have. I think a lot of it's personal preference, because I got a buddy of mine that, he likes those really hard hammerstones, and it's more of a, I don't know, the percussion of it, the harder the hammerstone is, the slower your strike should be for the mass of the stone. So I like just a quick, I don't know, I can't get the timing with a hard hammerstone. I just feel like I'm going too slow. Plus I like to work off the edge. It conserves a lot more material for me. All right, now once you've got that crack looks like it ends right here, so that means we do want to favor this face. Once you've got a working edge, and you've got some places where you can come in and remove mass, I usually work with the punch, and I may end up going to that here in a second, just depending on how this works, but it's the same thing as using that punch. Yeah, look at that. I mean, you're working off the same platforms. It's just, like I said, the punch is easier on me physically. You can see these are the same type of flakes I get with the punch. It's just, yeah, that was a little sharp. All right. Come on. So that's why I like the punch. I've hit that little platform just off the edge of it a couple of times. I'm trying to throw it at an angle. Let's see if we can get that in there. I could put this tip of that punch right at the bottom of that where I want that to make contact. See, I'm trying to get all this chattery. See how that stuff's breaking underneath the surface? So we're going to try to get under all of that. Tell you what, I'm gonna get the bigger punch. find it. I swear I'm about to lose my mind. It's one of the larger there. It's right where it wasn't supposed to be. That's why I couldn't find it, huh? All right, let's try this. Something a little bit beefier here. There we go. That'll make a nice little arrowhead point. There's another one. There's a little too much angle to that one. See how those are going in series down that face? And I'm building convexity. That's what we're wanting on this. This is our good face. So this is where we want to, I'm getting ready to, after I get this series, I'm going to come back and try to clear this. You can see how weird and got flakes going across and odd stuff and cracks and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to get this other side smooth, and then I'm going to concentrate on this one. But like Don said a while ago, this so much stuff, so little time. Yep. Don was saying a while ago, this is tough stone. It's, you know, it's not a, but being tough like it is, it takes, you know, you can hit it pretty good. I mean, that one just took that entire, kind of messed up my convexity. I'll come back in and clean it up here, but don't want to take too much mass off there until we get this other side figured out. So starting at the base, you see I've that flake right there kind of isolated this, and it's the same thing that I do just about, you know, if I'm pressure flaking or hammerstone or any kind of, just kind of isolating that ridge. There's a pretty flake. Now sometimes when you take a flake, you see how that kind of, it's cut in this way, and if I try to take a flake here, I'm directing, you know, some energy out into the kind of nothingness, and it'll rip that. You won't get the flake that you want. So just come back in, just a couple of little flakes. Now you see how that is now in line with that, where it's going to detach. That'll give you a much better flake removal than trying to hit off that edge that was lined up incorrectly. So you can see this little seam or crack right here that I'm trying to kind of sneak up to and get underneath, but I want to run parallel with that if possible. There was the flake I was trying to get. I was trying to get an angle where I could get underneath this from this platform right here. It's a little bit undercut. We'll fix that though. Get this other stuff out of the way. Hey, there's my honey. I love you too. You're gonna love it. Come back today. It's like freaking cold and we had all that stuff come through. And it is, it's not the same Arkansas you left Wednesday. I think it was in the mid-30s last night. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. Oh yeah, see now, you guys see on my leg, I can't probably not pick it up without it, well I can. That seam that I was talking about and how I wanted to run parallel with that seam. Let's see if I can find there's the tail end of it, but when I hit through that, because of the way that seam was, it split, but ran a flake down either side of it. So we've got a little bit of it left out here, but now we got underneath it. Samita, how you doing? Hope I pronounced that right. Oh, that's the rest of that seam. Unfortunately, that is not going to come out probably. Yeah, maybe. We're not going to lose too much of the size of it, but I was trying to get under this little seam right here. I think this next flake could do it though. So we didn't lose too much. Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's not that cold. I don't think it, I mean, it didn't freeze or anything, hun, but it definitely was a big change from 80s. I think today's supposed to be in the 50s, so. Well, I got under it, but I didn't, well, part of it. I was hoping that would trail on off there. You see, there's just a little bit of it left right here on the edge. But I think that's going to come out. All right. Let's see, I'm gonna try to, that little spot right there is on a ridge. I think it should probably go back almost about right there. Or not. My angle wasn't right there. It was just a little off. There it went. That was the flake that I was needing right there. Got that to go across the tip there. Yep, chips and tea this morning. This right here, Napper Jeb, if you'll check out on my profile, I've got a little video, but it's a shaft punch, but instead of putting it under my leg like Marty and Mark McDaniel, those guys, I can't do that. My back injury, I can't sit like that. It hurts my back. So what I did was I put it on an old bow, and then it's got a weight hanging from it that just holds it against my leg. So that way I don't have to try to squeeze down with my leg and then lean out to hit. The other way was just murder on my back. So, but yeah, I've got a little 4-minute video or so pinned at the top of my my profile page there that kind of explains it if you want to check it out. It works really well. It stays solid on my leg. I don't have to, try to worry about where it's going. I just worry about hitting and I don't even really have to look. I'm usually looking at the platform where the tool's set on it and not where I'm going to hit, because it's just a straight down, shot right there. So, just had to modify it. Wasn't working for me with my condition and everything, so I just made it work for me. Yeah, I tried first of the I had a strap around my foot that went up and around this, and I would step down on that strap, and man, that got to where it torqued on my knees, and my knees hurt, or my knee hurt. So, you know, guys, that's the reason why I feel like there's so many different ways to do this, because, you know, human innovation is amazing. You know, if we have a task that we need to do, and we can't, you know, do it with what we've got, then we figure out a way to do it, you know, somehow. Oh, you got one of those the rounded, the paddles? Tatted Park Ranger, is that what? Or Napper Jeb, is that what you're using? One of those, the rounded in paddles? Those things have a bunch of, or put a bunch of energy into a piece for sure. Awesome. Yeah, those things with them being more narrow like that, the way that they'll drive, I mean, there's a lot of force in behind those. You can absolutely move some material with them for sure. Had a buddy of mine that's where I got my first one, and I used it for a number of years for like heavier spalling and stuff too. I might make a little point. Yep, and well, that's because it's putting all of that mass right behind the striking area. The thing that's cool about them too is if you want to do a little bit finer work with it, I was trying to think of something that's more paddle shaped, like this little hand pad thing, but where you're making contact, if you're making contact up high, where you've got all of the mass above it, it'll really drive them. But if you're wanting to do a little bit like finer stuff and you're getting your accuracy up with it, drop it down lower and just kind of grab the edges like that. And what you're doing is you're changing the effective mass of that tool. But if you're used to it and it feels good in your hand, you're going to get, you know, your accuracy, but you'll get that feel for it. It'll just drag or pull those flakes off the side. See, depending on how much of the tool is above the center line, that's how much of the effective mass is being put into the rock or the platform. Yeah, we're going to lose some of that cool color back here. All right. Kenosha, how you doing this morning? I'm not working on any obsidian. I am in rough shape this morning and not on my game whatsoever. I'm gonna postpone until tomorrow. I did not need to slice my fingers up on the devil glass this morning. This is Edwards Plateau. It's not Georgetown. It's similar like the, what do they call it, amoeba or something like that. But or Pedernales. It's from that kind of area. But no, it's not Georgetown. Even though what Georgetown is considered to be an Edwards Plateau chert, I think, but they're just different varieties. There's, I think, Pedernales, amoeba. There's several of the different varieties of the Edwards Plateau. They're just unbelievable amount of rock there. Right on, Kenosha. Well, like I said, man, if I'm off my game, that stuff is so dangerous to work. It makes me nervous. Now, not so much working once I've got the flake, but spalling it, because those big flakes, man, they are sharp. Right on. Yeah, I don't know if Bubba's not in here. He sent me some quartzite, some Tallahassee quartzite from Mississippi. And it's a lot of creek cobble, river turn stuff, but when you get a nice piece of it, boy, it's really cool to work with for sure. What I'm doing right here, guys, is just kind of refining this edge. Getting ready for the next series that I want to try to take some of this off here. This side is pretty flat. Got a nice convexity to it. This one it's not bad, but I've got a couple of areas of mass that I need to remove. You can see that right there. So just kind of even up the edges. There's the last little bit of a seam right here. See that? Kind of where it's... Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Let's see if we can. Oh, no, Kenosha. This is Edwards Plateau. I was working some quartz a ways back from Bubba. I don't have any of it handy to grab. But it was quartzite, Tallahassee quartzite. But this is Edwards Plateau chert. There you go. That's all I need in the morning. Well, I need my wife back here. She'll be back this evening, so. Me and the puppy dog been all out of sorts since Mama's been gone, so she will be happy to see her when she gets here. Yeah, mine is in Colorado at the moment, but she will be back here this afternoon or this evening. See, this side, you can tell the quality of the material's different. When those flakes, they're coming clean through this, but when they hit that harder area, you can see all that shearing and all those like almost tears. That rock is actually shredding apart instead of flaking. It shears it off, and everywhere on this, you can see those type of shear marks. Now, sometimes that can mean you're hitting too hard. Georgetown does it a lot. She does, for the most part, Rick. She's getting old, and she's kind of. It's kind of one of those that if she's got to go potty, she knows it about the time she's going. So I have to walk her quite a bit, or we end up stopping and having all kinds of fun. But she likes to go with me. The last few days, I've tried to include her in going to the store and stuff like that, so that kind of give her some, some kind of something to do. She is, best we can guess, Kenosha, when we got her, they estimated her age between 1.5 and 2.5, and we've had her for 10 years. And for a pit bull, that's getting older. So she's got, hip issues, and she's got the wonderful, the skin disorders that the pit bulls and the bulldogs have, and she's just a handful. But hands down, the best dog I've ever had. So. Yep. Yep, that's her. That's what I told Jenny. I said, because she's got the dogs, she's got the hip issues and all that stuff, but I guarantee you, you're not supposed to be here, and that dog comes across like a furry missile. Right on, Clayton. Yeah, that's cool. Well, if you found a half one there, I'd go back and look. There's probably others there. I mean, not that you'd necessarily find the other half, but that there's other artifacts there. Yeah, that's right. I mean, once you know they're there, that's the, finding a spot where you can find them is the hard part. Once you know they're there, just go back and keep looking. You'll find them. I've got a friend of mine that on the creeks, he does, I mean, he finds a bunch. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Kenosha. Yeah, we got one. I got some here, a year or two ago. I tie flies occasionally, and I bought some like UV resin, and I got one of the little UV lights to be able to cure it with. And as a neat little kind of a double usage. Yeah, no kidding, Mike, for sure. Yeah, I like Clayton, the base of a point. That's my favorite part because, anything can can happen to the tip depending on what they're using them for. Here's my knife that I use for all my crafts and stuff, and I've been using it like a spoke shave, and you can see this kind of a groove in it. Maybe if I can get to where, there you go, you can see it there. To be able to shave a rounded edge. The base on a particular point style will always look like the base of a particular point style, but the tip or the blade can be used for any manner of things. So, I like to study the bases because to me that's where the style of the point comes from. Get the last little bit of this concretey stuff off the back here, and then we'll start profiling it. Morning, Chris. I may switch to that smaller punch. Chris, did you ever figure out why you got restricted for making an arrow on camera? Looks like it would make a Scottish dagger. I don't know. I've never seen a Scottish dagger. I don't know. If the edge has sort of a flakiness. I'm not quite sure I follow you, Clayton, as far as what you're referring to as flakiness, but oh, okay. I peeled it. Okay, they restored it. I had that happen with one of my videos too. My personal knife. What about it, Kenosha? Oh yeah, well, Clayton, when they tumble in a creek, they will get smooth, and I mean it's basically like putting them in a rock tumbler. Oh, my little personal knife would be a Scottish dagger. I got you now. But yeah, Clayton, when those tumble in the creek like that, they've been basically tumbling in gravel and rock and sand and silt and mud for, in some cases, thousands of years. And it will smooth the edges. It'll smooth the flake scars down. And it will make them look, for sure, a lot duller than they would have been new. They won't. Yeah, Chris, that's how it happens, and you're going to recognize those days. Yeah, beach glass, same thing. When they call it sea glass, it's just, all that sand has polished that glass down, made it kind of cloudy, but it takes all the sharp edges off of it and all that. But yeah, Chris, you're going to have those days, man, where it's just like everything is firing, and whenever you hit the rock, it goes and does exactly what you want it to. Those are great days. I'm personally not experiencing one today. I mean, it's going okay. I'm warming up a little bit, but my body is hurting today. Hips and back and hands, everything. There, I got underneath that side of it with that. Right on, Chris. Yeah, that's how it happens, man. You get going in it, and you and Justin are both. Justin started last March. He's just been at it a year. So I mean, you guys are both coming along quick. Seriously, I mean, and that's it. Once you get the concept down, Chris, I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just, there's a little bit of a different, they work a little different. Not completely, but a little. And it just takes time with the tools. I seriously, when I first started using these, I don't know if you guys are, who Jim Redfern is. Jim's a good friend of mine, and when I first started using these tools, I was a couple of times was just ready to give up, and he told me not to. He said, "Stick with it. It'll come to you," because it was rough. I knew I could make nice points with copper, but man, it was beating me up trying to do it with the stone tools and antlers. But he said, "Man," he said, just hang in there. It'll come to you." So that would be my advice to anybody wanting to try these. It's going to be tough when you first start, because there is a little bit of a learning curve, but hang in there. It will get better. Oh, that was perfect. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get over to get that other one, the other side, but that got right over through that concrete stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's some tough rock right there, though. Let's see, guys. Today is the 31st. I'm going to do a video sometime today to remind everybody, but I'm going to draw for this tomorrow morning. Today is everybody's last chance. If you want to be eligible to win this, all you have to do is be an active subscriber in the month of March. So if you want to be eligible for it, hit the subscribe button, and you will be in the drawing tomorrow. Need not be present to win. I will draw, and then I'll contact you and get your mailing information and get that sent out to you. So, hey, Santa Monica. Silencer, good morning. How you doing? This a little cooler over there this morning, isn't it? Well, I don't know how far that stuff there goes in there, but it is a booger. All right, there we are so far. Yeah, Jim's awesome. That's one of his favorite point styles is Harden. He likes those Daltons. He used to make a lot of Clovis's. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Now my mass I've got to remove now is on this side right here. So we'll take, probably going to switch to the smaller punch too. I don't think I need quite as much contact area as this other one's got. Try to take a big flake right across. You see how that kind of a little mass area right there. Gonna angle this up. Take that right across the tail. I don't like how that flake kind of didn't really dive, but it didn't match in with the rest of them, so Right on, silencer. Have a good day, man. See, I was just trying to blend that in like that, so it wasn't quite as drastic a change. One more little blender flake there should get that just like that. Man, shoulders are hurting, hands are hurting. Tough rock. Let's see if we can. That's the flake I wanted. Right over the top of that. Well, it's looking like my hands are telling me probably no pressure flaking today, so we may work that other piece down to a biface and see how the hands are feeling later this week. Right on, real people. I appreciate it. Well, I'm heading up to the post office later this afternoon after I've got I got to give Puppy Dog a bath this morning, and then I'm headed up there after their lunchtime. Our little post office shuts down completely. There's nobody in there available from 11:30 to 1. So, but I will be going up there today. So hopefully, if not, I'll get it tomorrow. But I sure appreciate that. Yeah, there's little towns, you know, they don't have, it's not like in Rogers, the nearest bigger town to us, you know, they rotate out at lunch because everybody's in the post office at lunch. But here, they're just like, no, we don't care. Don't come here at lunch. That's a pretty decent Clovis preform so far right there from what we started with. You can see we've got the body of it. I always like to try to keep the back probably 2/3 a little bit thicker to set up the mat, or set up the flute the platform to remove the flutes. So tell you what, guys, like I said, I'm not going to be doing any pressure flaking, especially on this stuff today. So I'm going to set this aside, and we'll actually worked a little quicker than I thought it would to that point. So, Bonnie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So we'll try this other piece here. It's got some concretey stuff, but it's really pretty rock. It's got a lot of, almost like a pink, some pinkish reds and stuff in it. Oh, my hips today. All right. Now, obviously, it's got this hump on this side of it with all this Cortex. So try to kind of figure where your point is in that, to where you can get the biggest or nicest whatever piece out of it, going around any cracks. It's kind of like this, so that'll take too much of that off that way. All right, I think we got an idea here anyway. Real people, you too, I appreciate it. Awesome, Bonnie. Well, absolutely. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. You know, and by all means, check out as many different flint knappers as you can come across, you know, to make sure that, you know, because the way that I do it is definitely not the only way. You'll see me set it. I dropped one a minute ago, but usually if a piece is making point or flakes that are big enough for me to use later, then I'll set them aside to make arrowhead points out of. Oh, it detached. That one might make a little point. I need to take this area here off, so set up a platform to get that way. That's what I was getting ready to say. Sometimes when you're going through this Cortex, see how crumbly that is right there on the edges? That's where this is tumbled down the river or creek. You can actually see some of the cracks that are propagated. They go right into that rock, but they just didn't have enough energy as they were tumbling down the river. So what I want to do with those, there we go. I want to try to set up a platform where I can go deep enough under that I can undercut most of those little seams and cracks so that this piece hopefully doesn't come apart. Just kind of dragging the edges off right now and turning stuff with this coarser hammerstone. I'm not trying to drive flakes, I'm just trying to see where my edges. Okay, now the way that was a while ago, you can see, you know, it's not quite as, got this area right here. Hoping that that leaves it, because this side is really pretty material, so this is just like a little concrete patch in the center. Use that bigger punch again. Just about gonna have to dress that up. Let's flip it over a bit. This Texas stuff, man, it is some tough rock. Come off there. The flake is detached. I just can't get it to, there it went. Just trying to get that out of the way so that I could have a spot to set up in there with that at a high angle and try to take some of that big lump off there. Like that. There, it was a nice flake right there. Might be able to make something out of that. know I can make something out of that one. Bear Far, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I have to do that with a hammerstone. Trying to get a little bit of a angle so I can get under this to come back this direction. Ryan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Mias Bruto System. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow. Don't make it too hard on me, guys. Come on. See now that flake right there, you can see all those tiny little cones. Every one of those little cones is where that's hit a rock as it's tumbling down a river. Slough Trike, if you go right up here, I've got a 4-minute video pinned to the top of the of my profile page that'll explain the whole setup. That way I don't have to take it, well, it's not like taking it apart, but once I get it set up, I don't, it's easier just to have you go check that out, because I can't show you a picture other than moving my camera and all that. So if you'll go check it out there, and then I'll answer any questions you got. Ted, thank you for the follow. But it's called a shaft punch, trike. Another point. Starting to get under some of that now, finally. We're getting closer. But you can see every one of those flakes underneath that, there's all those little seams and cracks. So I'm trying to get deep enough where I'm not, you know, trying to throw a flake into those so much, but it's hard on this outer cortex on this stuff. We're just about there. Papalu, thank you for the follow. Right on, Trike, if you go right up here and you click on that, and it'll say like to my profile, and then it's right at the very top of all the videos on my profile. Or I tell you what, if you hang around for another 25 minutes before I get off here, I'll give another explanation of it. This should get quite a bit of that off there, hopefully. It's a little bit flat right through there, but I think I can, to get a flake to dry through that. Nope, it's all right. This way. There we go. Well, that's a big cone fracture right there. That's what, yeah. You guys can see that broke right around the old cone fracture. That's cool. Hopefully that doesn't go too deep into the rock. We'll see if we can get it out off this side. Nope. There it was. Just a little bit of that seam left right there. trying to set everything up to come back across this side to get that little spot out. All right, this ridge here, this should travel right down into this mass of this and take quite a bit of that out, hopefully. Yeah. See, I just trailed right down that ridge. Right on. Yeah, if you have any questions about it, I mean, feel free to ask. It's just easier to do it that way. Hope you don't mind. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, come on. I really like how that came off there, but oh well. Yeah, that one tried to go, but I had my angle wrong. All right, now I'm going to try to set up for this side and try to get what's left of that concrete out of there. I don't know how deep that goes, but that stuff is, the flakes don't want to travel as well through it, so if I can eliminate it now before I have to start pressure flaking, it'll probably save me some headaches. John. Good morning. Well, if I can make it through this concrete stuff here, I will be happy. Richard, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And that stuff does not want to flake. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you like it. Well, this concrete on this thing is super deep. So I'm hoping that I can continue to kind of it looks like it might be trailing out there a little. Well, this thing's gonna be thin. I've got to turn this edge to come back to this side just a little bit to get a better angle. It does, John. And that's the only difference. That's what I tell folks too, guys. I mean, those of you that are just starting out napping, it's a skill that you get better with practice. But it's just like any other skill that you practice. You have to practice it with intent, Like I said before, if you play guitar, if you just sit down with the guitar once a month for 10 or 15 minutes and you just kind of pluck around on it and you play a chord or two and then you set it down, well, that's all you're ever going to be able to do with that. You have to sit down and spend some time, working on technique or working on a scale or a chord or something. It's the same thing with this. I still will sit down with the intent to work on, my pressure flaking for a certain type of point. It's the only way you get better. And I think a lot of new folks get discouraged because they think they can just sit down and a couple weeks they're going to be turning out these beauties, and it does not work that way. And really nothing does. I mean, if you decided to start playing guitar today, by next week you're not going to be headlining for a band, So it just takes time and practice, patience. And you got to realize some days you're going to be off. I am off today. I can feel it. My body's hurting. I can't, everything is just a little bit not quite right. And when you have those days, you just have to recognize them and work around them. Like I said, today I had intended to work some obsidian, but when I'm not feeling my best, I don't want to have to worry about cutting myself at the same time, severely. So that's why I ended up not working the obsidian today. Come on. There it went. The trains are coming through this morning. With it being cold, you can hear it a little bit easier today. All right, we're going to see if we can... Hey, you too. Yeah, John, I wasn't... You say you're rusty. I mean, I was feeling a little rough this morning myself, but were you flit napping? Damien, thank you for coming in and hanging out. Hey guys, I'm getting more and more of these up on the... My son is doing a great job. We're just about caught up. So as far as getting these live streams put up on YouTube. So if you haven't checked it out, it's the same. I think I've got a link in my profile, but same name as that, New Age Neanderthal, and all of these are being uploaded onto YouTube. So if you can't hang out for the whole live, or you want to rewatch something, I don't know if you can get to 10K before 10 o'clock, but you're welcome to give your finger a workout if you want, there, Rick. Now, John, so you were napping this morning? That's awesome. That is awesome. How long has it been since you napped? Man, that concrete just makes me mad. I might have to do just a little pressure flaking on this towards the end here. Awesome, John. Well, that's fantastic. Wow. There's my 10,000. Wow, guys. Thank you very much. No, John, that's awesome, man. I'm happy to have inspired you to pick your tools back up and start napping again. That made my day. Thank you very much. You know, guys, that's what I tell you. I don't care what tools you use, how you like to nap. I don't care if you cut them out on a CNC machine. If you like it, do it. Don't, I mean, hey, MM Cash, how are you this morning? Looks like we managed to make a couple of Clovis preforms today is what it amounts to. I'm doing well. I mean, considering my joints and my stuff has bothered me today, but I woke up on this side of dirt, so it's all relevant to that, I guess. But all in all, not doing too bad. Just arthritis and that kind of stuff going on. All right, we got a couple more minutes here. I'm going to try to get a little bit more of this mass here out of the way. Try to get just a little bit more of that concrete. Help if I had my leather pad on there. All right. Oh yeah, that was work right there. See all that crusty stuff that I was shooting that under? I was really worried about that flake right there. about as far as we're going to take it today. This one got really thin really quick, trying to get that concrete out. Absolutely different. Rocks work different, John. That's one of the things, you know, going from different stuff that you guys send me. You know, this is from Blake Fleming, and this is some tough Texas rock. But I like it because it's consistent. And this is what, you know, Clovis people were, they were just making bunches of Clovises out of these. So just trying to clean this edge up just a little bit. Got one more flake right here. I think I can. I don't want to try to pressure flake it through that. Perfect. And there's another one next to it. There we go. I told you guys it was getting thin. All right. Well, there's the first one we made out of that tab piece. It's got a little bit of that. All of this stuff seems like it's got some of that rougher. That is seriously just like concrete right there. And then that's similar to what these little inclusions in this are. But that's the cleaner side of those today. From this was just a big old boulder basically. And then this was a tab about like that. So we will finish those out in some Clovis projectile points sometime this week, more than likely. Those have been selling out pretty quick on the Etsy shop, so I need to make a few more. Guys, I appreciate you coming in, spending some time with me today. If you got any questions before I get off here today, let me have it. If not, I will be back in here in the morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll do it all over again. If I'm feeling a little bit better and up to it, we'll probably work some of that obsidian that I got from Kenosha Kinku. It's a really nice piece of it. This is the first point from, we took a flake off right here, and this was the first piece we made from it. So we're going to continue working on that. I'm going to try to see how many points I can get out of it. That's why I say I was wanting to make sure I was on my game. So all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming in, hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. You too, Brizzo. Skitty, I appreciate you being in here, guys. I really do. Take care of yourselves and those around you. And until tomorrow morning, keep chipping.